Was it?
Sorry to change for you, good.
Nothing changes.
Okay, sit in.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here at BT Centre Hub. We're here today to announce Willie Joe Saunders, the WBO Middleweight Champion of the world. His next fight, which will take place on September the 16th at the Copper Box here in London, which is just across the road. This fight will be the UK leg of the Golovkin-Canelo fight. Great fight. Willie Monroe Jr. is here. His record was 21-2. One of those losses was to Golovkin. So this is going to be for me, it's going to be a keenly fought fight. It's a fight that Bill's got to be top of his game. He can't afford to slip up. He's had a few problems over the last few months with opponents pulling out, fights falling through. Unfortunately, Cassidy's in mandatory fell by the wayside, and Willie's now in. Willie Monroe Jr. is now in to take that position, and this is a mandatory defence. So the winner of this comes through it. They've got the WBO title, which is the piece of the jigsaw that Golovkin, the winner of Golovkin and Canelo, who hold 3 titles, the winner will hold 3 titles, will want. So obviously I'm in Bill's corner, and if he comes through this, we'll be pushing very hard, and we've had conversations with Golovkin's people that we could do that fight in December, providing Golovkin wins. And if not, it'll be Canelo probably in the new year. So a lot to go for Bill and for Willie. A lot as far as Bill's concerned to go out and prove a point, which I'm sure he will do. He's had a change of trainers. He's now being trained by Dominic Ingle, who's very respected in the business, and I'm really delighted and pleased that he's up there working with him. We'll hear from Dominic soon. You know, Dominic has been involved with some great fighters over the years, and I've had great pleasure working with him in the early days with Nassim Hamid and other fighters. So, you know, I know he's in safe and good hands, and I know that he's a great disciplinarian, and that's what Bill needs. He needs that focus and needs somebody there to drive him. From Banner Promotions, we've got Mark Abrahams, who's here representing obviously Banner and also Willie. Welcome to the UK. We're looking forward to working with Banner again. We've got a great relationship with them. We've put a number of fights on with them in the last few years. They've all been good fights. So this will be the main event on the 16th. Everything to go for both boxers. Chance to get into the mix to fight the winner of Golovkin-Canelo. What more can you want? And it means everything's going to be on the table. They've got it to go for. The undercard will feature Anthony Yard and also Dangerous Daniel Dubois. So there'll be other fights that will be announced. There'll be quite a few other title fights on the bill, so we'll be announcing those within the next couple of days. So it's going to be a fantastic night again, another competitive night. I think we've shown the British public over the last, for quite a while, but certainly over the last 6 months, certainly since we've been with BT and on Box Nation, the fantastic competitive events we're putting on. Not one fight, events, and that's what we're going to continue to do, headed up by this fantastic fight. As I say, these guys got it all to go for, and as always, the people who will benefit from this are the fans, because they're the guys who pay the wages, who buy the tickets, buy the subscriptions. This is for them. These are the fights that they want to see. And we've got all the guys here. I'm sure you've got some questions to ask, and just before you do that, I'd just like to say thank you to our sponsors, 32 Red, Foot Asylum and Rainham Steel. Any questions? Please go ahead, unless you want me to ask the guys and you jump in. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it.
Billy, just talk us through your opinions of Willie as a fighter and how tough an defence this could be.
Yeah, I think he's a good boxer. I think that he's got skill. This is his big chance, obviously, so he's not coming over here to just to make numbers up. He's coming obviously prepared. He's been in there with good opposition. He's been there with Golovkin, come short. You know, I think that it's going to be a very, very tight fight. but I just think that I've got the edge on the one side. You know, I think that no disrespect to him, but I'd say that in round 6 of his fight with Golovkin, he said he was done, and that's not a very good sign from a warrior, because whether I'm done or not, my spirit would never let me do that. I'd get knocked out cold first. So there's that question I look at and frown upon. But you know, I understand that I've not had a chance to show my true talent and true skill as of yet as a pro. And I think that I know that I can't afford to have a night off. You know, I can't afford to overlook at him and turn up 2 or 3 weeks training for him. So it's going to be a good long hard camp. Been in there 3 weeks now, so it'll be a 12-week camp for this fight, and definitely 1,000,000% going to get the win.
Willie, can you just speak about what Billy said there about maybe not wanting it in the 6th round against Golovkin?
That was 2015. It's 2017 now. That's all I gotta say.
So he wants it now.
So
Listen,
what was
I'm not
different
running in.
now
Listen,
and-
I'm not running in. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He comes in, but once you surrender once, you will surrender again, 100%. You know, I don't think that a fighter can't just quit. It's not in the rule book to quit. I mean, we're in the wrong sport to do that. Understandable. I might not be Golovkin. You know, that's the other occasion. I'm not Golovkin, but you know, when our skills are going up against skill and wills against wills, I know one thing, that I won't crack. I've been in fights before where I should have never been in fights. I should never have won them if people knew that I've come through, and that's because of will. But he's a good fighter. I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's a very, very good fighter, very, very good boxer. Got plenty of skill, bags of skill. But I just think he will be lacking something on the night.
Willie, what's the difference then between you now in 2015 and now?
It's experience.
We've only boxed once since then. So, you know.
It's experience.
So let's just say there's 36 minutes difference, even though years passed.
Willie, your opinions of Billy Joe from what you've watched of him?
He's a good fighter. He better make his ass whooping worse. Keep talking like that.
They all talk shit, don't they? Sorry, don't talk rubbish.
Can you just tell us briefly what it was like for you facing Golovkin now?
I mean, we took the fight on. You know, I see guys getting 12-week camps and 10-week camps for fights. You know, we took that fight on a 6-week notice. You know, the same thing we did with Rosado. Took that on a 4-week notice. Before that, took John Thompson, 4-week notice.
No disrespect, Rosado's a journeyman only, to be fair.
4-week notice.
But you're always in shape, you always lived a life, so I don't know if you took it on 2 weeks' notice.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, you're
Like
in
I was
shape.
saying, 4-week notice. It's just experience. You know what I mean? It was early in my career, and like I said, you know, I never had big backers and these big money guys in my corner to make sure things happen. So when a shot like that come up, you take it. I think I gave a good account of myself, but you know, I can admit that at that moment, that may have been too big of a moment for me. It was the moment, you know, shook me up more than the fight. You know what I mean? When you step into an arena and you got 15,000 screaming fans and 14,990 out for the guy that you're fighting, and he's supposed to be God, that moment can shake you up. I'm human. I never got up here and said, I'm superhuman and I'm this, I'm that. I've always been humble, you know. But you always had the luxury of having a great promoter like Frank Warren in his corner. All of his fights have been here, his backyard. He hasn't had to go into the Lion's Den and fight a guy with all of these screaming fans against him, you know what I mean? So, I mean, when you're talking different textures, different things, you get different outcomes. But I'm really not here to talk about the past.
But can I just say though, brother, that, like I said, I can't sit here and talk bad and rubbish about you, I'm talking the truth. As a fighter, it don't matter about backers, about money, about this and that. And when you get in that ring, there's only me and you and Golovkin. And you said, I'm done. So you are a mentally weak person. I know by looking at you in your eye that mentally you're weak. I can tell that.
Not by looking at your fucking face, you're fat.
Listen, I know, yeah, you're right, I might be fat at the minute, right, but I can look at you in the eye and I know that what sort of person you are. You have to be coded, you have to be coached along, you have to be brung along, you have to pat you on the back. When it gets hard on you, I know, I can see in your eye, you're quit. You will jack. We call it over here jacking. And that's what you do. Listen, you're a good fighter. When you're on top, you're a very good fighter. I must say, you're a good fighter, you keep in shape. I can't sit here and talk bad about you, but I'm just saying what I know, what you do deep down. The reason why you haven't had backers, Brian, you and people to look at you and goad you, because when it comes to the big time, when it comes to that big time, that big crunch, you haven't got that crunch to give.
You don't know nothing about me.
No, listen, I don't know you, but I can look in your eye and I've studied you enough. I've studied you enough to know what sort of fighter you are. I've studied you enough. When you're looking good, you're making them miss, you're making them slip, you're getting away with it, you're rocking and you're rolling, you look $1 million. But when someone puts it on you, my friend, you'll quit. And that's a fact.
September 16, you got 12 rounds or less to show me.
Well, I'll be obliging you of that, and I would definitely 1,000,000% be defending that belt against you, because you're not mentally.
You got no choice but to defend it. We just signed a contract.
You are not mentally strong enough to beat me ever. Even if I got in the ring fat and unfit, you still will beat me mentally, and that is a big part of it. You know it.
Gamesmanship. I understand.
Well, gamesmanship. It's not gamesmanship, my brother. I see you say I'm done in a ring. You don't do that, and that's what you did.
Right.
I'm not here to talk rubbish about it. If that was lies, then I'm talking rubbish. Then so be it. I'm only speaking the truth, what went on. And you did say I was done.
Dominic, Billy was saying he could be really fat and unfit. I take him he's not going to be either on September 16th.
Well, he's not going to be fat and unfit. He's going to be in good shape. He's been in camp for 3 weeks. He's done a lot of hard work in that time. He did come into that camp, as Willie said, fat and unfit. But that's the task in front. And when you know you've only got 12 weeks to get rid of that, you've got a time scale, you've got to do it in. And he's committed to the training camp. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He's fell into the gym, absolutely superbly. He gets on with the guys. He's motivated. He's actually enjoying training. He's enjoying his dieting. It's not even a diet, is it though?
No,
he can't even manage the food that he's getting. It's too much for him, and he's losing weight. So, for a boxer, that's fantastic. So, where we've been getting, 3 parts of the jigsaw, we've been getting the fighting bit, but he's had his training wrong. I'm not blaming that on the trainers. I'm blaming that on Bill. And his nutrition wrong, and now all the pieces are beginning to fit together. Hopefully on September the 16th, it's all going to come together, and you're going to see really what Bill can do, what he should have been doing probably for the last 4 or 5 years of his career.
This is what Bill needs. He needs the discipline of a trainer. And he's been, Jimmy Tibbs done a fantastic job, and Mark, and he was about to train with Adam Booth. But the bottom line is, they bonded now, and this is it. And being away from home, so hopefully we're going to see the best of Billy Joe Saunders. He's still a young man. He's got a lot in the tank. I mean, he's not even a quarter of done as far as his career is concerned. So he's got it there. He can do it, and I know that this will be the making of it. This won't be an easy fight. I mean, he can fight tomorrow, Willie. You only got to look at him. He's fit as a butcher's dog, but it's not just about being fit, it's the rest that goes with it. And the bottom line of this is that Bill, 100%, I think, has the beating of any middleweight and super middleweight in the world. I really do believe that. Well, he's beaten the one they've all been raving about the weekend. He's still got that win over Eubanks. No matter what way you look at it, he beat him. And he wasn't exactly 100% for that fight.
People, look, when I boxed Eubanks, I was.
Don't give the game away.
When I boxed Eubanks, if people knew what sort of fitness and level I was at fighting, you'd say, you wouldn't have never boxed. But it's only where I got a fighter's art that I wouldn't let nobody have a say in pulling me out. I knew I was going in there, I knew I had the beating of him. And the same as I know I got the beating of him, he's going to come and fight, he's going to turn up, he's going to come and have a good go. But when you know you've got the beating of someone, and plus you're getting looked at now like a fine-tuned racehorse, and fed 3-4 times a day and training hard and feeling fit and strong. I feel fit enough now to do 12 rounds. I feel fit. I mean, and I'm still not the finished article yet. I've still got more learning to do.
And you've never heard a fighter give an excuse why he won a fight. That's normally a moan after they didn't beat. This is an excuse. And he won the fight.
Listen, I don't talk rubbish. I would say how it is. Was I a very good liver outside? No. I'm one of them who turn up and fight. I love to fight. That's what we're brought up to do. That's where I'm from. From our culture, from the gypsy community, we're brought up as young children to fight, really, for our own survival. And that's what we've done. From all my life, that's all I've been doing is fighting. So I'm at the top now, and there's no way that I'm going to let anything slip or let no stone go left unturned. I know Dominic won't allow that anyway, so I'm in a good place.
Billy, could you talk us through why you decided to change trains?
I think that sometimes a change is as good as a rest. And, you know, I knew that all the time I'm stepping up levels. I mean, when I first started with Jimmy, I mean, it was unbelievable. Jimmy's a very good coach, very good knowledge, and no fault of his own why I left. I just needed a change in myself to perk myself up, really. And I went with Adam Booth, done some training there, but I just needed to be away. You know, I needed to be away from my way of life back home. And I decided to set up in Sheffield, where it all started, really, for the Olympic Games. And I love it up there now. I've been up there now 3 weeks, training every day, living the life. It's like a new lease of life, really. And like I said, a change is as good as a rest. I mean, I've got a very, very good record. I ain't been beaten England on home turf for 15 years. Now, I've been beating England since I've been 12. So, you know, this man's got it all to do on the 16th.
As the sort of inactivity and fights falling through, how much of a problem has that been?
You know, listen, it gets stressful, but listen, as fighters, you've got to crack on and deal with it, innit? Whatever happens, whatever gets thrown your way. I mean, listen, for what happened to me last, that says it all. My last opponent got arrested, so it's just one of them things that just happens in boxing. You just got to deal with it. But look, you know, time you look round, the fight day to be, I'll be in the ring with this man, so hopefully come through, get the win, and I'll be looking at the next. So it's, you know, it's about it. It just keeps going. So you can't, you know, time waits for no one.
And Willie, how much would it mean to you to win that title, to win this fight?
Just bring things full circle. You know, I had my opportunity against Golovkin, didn't win. I'm thankful for this opportunity because it puts me in a position to be the missing piece for the middleweight division. So that brings you back full circle. You know what I mean? The only belt missing from the middleweight collection between Golovkin and Canelo is the WBO. And I need that.
So you're confident the winner of this fight will get to fight the winner of Canelo Golovkin?
Do you need the fight, or do you say you need the fight or the money side?
Both.
Yeah, that's right. We both need both, but because you was in the fight with him, you had everything in front of you. And to be fair, you was in the fight. You was in the fight. I won't take that away from you. You was in the fight. You was giving a good account of yourself, but just when it got that little bit where you had to dig that, just to climb that first little bit of a mountain, that you decided to say, you know, you beat the count. So I'm just only asking you, what did you have enough for? Did you have enough? What, did your gas run out? What was it? I'm only asking you to explain yourself because I would like to know. It intrigues me because when I watch the video, I look at it and you look alright.
I really don't owe you any explanation right now, bro.
Can you owe these guys explanation? They'll come out and see you to interview you.
I don't want to give an explanation, but come September 16th, like I said, you're going to have 12 rounds or less, depending on how long I decide to let it go.
Listen to your voice. I can look into your eye. You're a mentally weak person. You can be beaten mentally.
Yes, motherfucker.
You're a mentally weak person. And careful with the language, there's kids watching.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? All good?
All good.
You can do your one-on-ones? Lovely, thank you. Thanks very much. Don't forget, Copper Box, 16th of September. Your tickets, and it's going to be a fantastic undercard. Some great fights.
You're going to come to us, TV? You're going to come to us? Down the middle. Good. Head to the shoulder now. Go back to there, go back to there. Not go away, Frankie.
All good?
Easy work. Good, thank you. Last time we did touch, you see, that's what we're talking about.